Clouds sticking up throughout the day, though, and as we go into our Friday evening, the commute from work could be a bit messy with rain moving in the afternoon. Some of it heavy, maybe even a rumble of thunder as we get into the evening hours. Rain moves out, though, just before midnight, clearing the sky out for a sunny weekend and a cool weekend in the 40s. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Looking for a great way to say thank you to your employees? Connect with your customers or send a holiday gift. Black Powder Coffee can customize a coffee and tea basket or box for you. And don't miss out on Black Powder Coffee's Holiday Blend. A smooth flavor profile with a bright beginning, buttery caramel, and baked chocolate finish. Black Powder Coffee, 261 Rolling Hill Road, or online at blackpowdercoffee.com.
Hello. It's wonderful to be heard by all you lovely people. You are listening to the Scoreboard here on your home for sports, WSIC. We are streaming video. You can watch our video live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, WSICnews.com. Man, we're basically worldwide. Are you going on vacation to, I don't know, Antarctica? Well, if you have an internet connection, you can watch us. That makes us worldwide. And you can call into the show 844-STUDIO-4. That's 844-788-3464. I'd love to hear from anyone today. Anyone at all who has something they'd like to talk about. Maybe you want to talk about this wild day that we had in men's college basketball with a ton of upsets taking place last night. The 3-seed Kansas Jayhawks fell, 5-seed Tennessee fell, the 9-seed Oklahoma fell. It was a upset kind of day on Wednesday night. We also have some NFL news, some high school basketball to cover, as we always do. We're going to start there, but we got college football news. Man, I said it. I don't remember when I said it. It was a couple of weeks ago, but I said, man, wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be funny if Tennessee quarterback... I just drew a complete blank. Ewers, yeah. If he came back, because, oh man, there's a man in the waiting there. There is a man waiting to be the quarterback at Tennessee. And I don't know if Cam Ewers is going to leave. Well, he announced he isn't. And now Arch Manning, the golden boy, as we're going to dub him, he's going to have to sit another year? Or is he going to... Can he transfer still? This transfer portal stuff is just wacky. We'll have that for you a little bit later on in the show because, oh boy, is this a big one. But as we always do, I said Tennessee, didn't I? I meant University of Texas. It happens. Tennessee, Texas, same thing. Same colors, you know. I'm making a lot of people upset with that. Let's move on. High school basketball. Last night, we had quite a few games taking place. We're going to just jump right into it and start the way we have been starting for the past month or so in the Lake Norman region with Mooresville basketball, who did have a game last night against Cox Mill High School. Mooresville improves their record to 9-5. They get to 500 in conference play as they now sit pretty at 1-1 after defeating Cox Mill 62-60. A little bit of a nail biter there. But after that loss to Hickory Ridge on the 5th, that being last week, Mooresville able to even up their conference record at 1-1, get back in the winning column, and improve overall to 9-5. Moving right along to Lake Norman High School. They are having a great start to their year, and I have been highlighting that quite a bit. Right now, they sit at 12-1. 12-1 is a great record. They're 1-0 in conference. They're one of the teams that did not play yesterday. Their next game is actually tomorrow against Hickory Ridge. That game will be on the road starting at 7:30. And as we look into the players for Lake Norman High School, a quick little shout out to senior Santana Lynch, who is currently leading the team in points per game at 14.8 points per game. Also 9.5 rebounds per game, and a nice little assist number of 3.7 assists per game. Easily their best player to start the year. Moving right along, Statesville High School. I'm telling you, and I am not getting off the Statesville bandwagon. I don't care if I'm a curse. I don't care if because I choose them, they're going to start losing. I told you, and one more time, I told you they were better than we think they are. 4-game winning streak now for Statesville High School. They beat up on Ford High School last night, 72-52. They get their overall record back to 500 at 6-6, and now the conference record is above 500, sitting at 2-1. And they have some pretty good players on that team also. As we do, we're going to shout out Caleb Tillman, senior for Statesville, at 14.5 points per game and 7.1 rebounds per game. He's having a great start to the season for Statesville. One of the leaders on that team, and one of the reasons that they are able to make this push that they've been making as of late. I told you that they were going to be a team to watch just because of the terrible way that their season started. Not their fault at all. 100% had to do with scheduling, but here we are now getting deep into conference play in Statesville High School. 2-1, back to 500 overall, and a nice 4-game winning streak. They were 2-6 not long ago. Their next game against West Iredell tomorrow at 7:30. Speaking of West Iredell, 2-9 on the season right now. They did not have a game yesterday. Their last game was last Friday against Ford High School, where they lost 77-53. And as I just mentioned, they will be on the road traveling to Statesville High School on Friday. North Iredell High School is another one of those teams that's kind of had an okay, kind of a not okay season. It's really hard to judge what they've been up to this year. They sit at 2-1 in conference play, but overall they're 6-7. And their most recent game against North Lincoln yesterday, they lost that one 96-77. Their next game on the road at Hickory High School. Hickory, we talked about them quite extensively during the football season as they were able to get a state championship. And their basketball team, man, is it just as good. They're 11-0 to start the year. So North Iredell has a little bit of a test coming to them on Friday. And South Iredell, the Vikings. We save them for last, but they are not last in our books. They did lose their last game yet again. They are on a tough losing streak right now, losing 3 consecutive games and only 2 wins on the year. They lost to Hickory Ridge 91-54 in their next game tomorrow, as we already mentioned, against Mooresville High School at 7:30. That is your high school basketball scene as it stands right now. Some games tomorrow that we're going to be keeping an eye on. Statesville High School, man, I'm telling you, don't count them out. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Scoreboard here on WSIC. We are back after this.
More of Sports Director Joe Berg's The Scoreboard is coming up on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, clear sky hangs on as we go through the rest of our Thursday evening. Getting cold tonight. Temperatures dropping down to around freezing overnight. As we go into our Friday, we'll start with sunshine, clouds thickening up throughout the day, though. And as we go into our Friday evening, the commute from work could be a bit messy with rain moving in the afternoon. Some of it heavy, maybe even a rumble of thunder as we get into the evening hours. Rain moves out, though, just before midnight, clearing the sky out for a sunny weekend and a cool weekend.
And oh man, what a mistake that was. How could I say Cam Ewers is at Tennessee? I don't even know where that came from. Weird. We move past it. We make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Relax.
Saturday, January 20th. Having performed all over the world, written hit songs, and mentored artists, Rocky Lynn is making another stop here at home. Rocky Lynn, Saturday, January 20th. CainArts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Quilters and knitters unite! The Quilting and Needle Art Extravaganza is happening this month at the Statesville Civic Center, Friday, January 26th and 27th. Admission is $5. Come explore the many beautiful fabrics, styles, and maybe even buy a new sewing machine. The Quilting and Needle Art Extravaganza at Statesville Civic Center on January 26th and 27th. Birkdale on Ice is still going on through January 28th. Time to lace up your skates and hit the ice. To make sure you can skate when you want, we recommend you making a reservation. For skate session info, including times and pricing, visit birkdalevillage.com. Mooresville Parks and Recreation presents the Hitmen of Country, playing at the Charles Mack Citizen Center Friday, January 19th. Love country music? The Hitmen of Country have toured and recorded with some of the country's greatest artists, like Keith Urban, Trace Adkins, Travis Tritt, and Jason Aldean. For more information, go to visitmooresville.com. That's visitmooresville.com. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Hello friends, this is Dwight with Gullion's Christian Supply and Homeschool Headquarters, inviting you to join the Gullion family and staff in praising the Lord for 30 years of providing you with trustworthy and inspiring books, Bibles, music, gifts, and supplies. We so appreciate your support and friendship over all these years. With locations in King and Statesville, North Carolina, visit us again soon for encouraging fellowship and essential provisions for your Christian life. Gullion's Christian Supply and Homeschool Headquarters, where the Bible stands.
Now more of The Scoreboard with Joe Berg on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Hey, we are back. It is segment number 2 here on The Scoreboard, and we're going to go from one basketball news story to the next basketball news story, talking about college basketball. Yesterday, we had a caller call into the studio asking me if I thought North Carolina was going to beat NC State last night, and I was like, yeah, probably. They're a better team. Well, last night, North Carolina beat North Carolina State 67-54. The 7 seed gets a win. One of the few high seeds to get a win last night. What was in the air in college basketball? Just going through some of these games from yesterday. UCF taking down the 3 seed Kansas 65-60. Fans stormed the court there. Then you had Mississippi State absolutely just upset the 5 seed Tennessee 77-72. Then we had North Carolina win, which was expected. Then you have TCU, Texas Christian University, beat Oklahoma, the 9 seed, 80-71. Then you have Butler Bulldogs All of these teams are unranked. These are all unranked teams right now. And I know it's a little different with basketball than football, but still, this is crazy. Butler Bulldogs beat the 11 seed Marquette 69-60. And then you had Virginia Tech beating the 21 seed Clemson. There was only, let's see, we had Wisconsin win, we had Memphis win, we had UConn win, and North Carolina. That's it. Those were the only ranked teams that got a win in their games yesterday. That's insane. Something was in the air. I'm telling you, it was something. But as we move through the college basketball season, we don't have the full updated rankings just yet. So as it stands still, Purdue 1, Houston 2, Kansas 3, UConn 4, Tennessee sitting number 5. And college athletics are always in the news, as yesterday we had college football head coach Nick Saban retire from his position. And not only that, but today we had news about, Quinn Ewers. I don't know why, but this is just so funny to me. I said it like a week ago. I said, what if Quinn Ewers decides to come back to Texas and just gives the big old middle finger to Arch Manning? Because this is the guy that's been in waiting. We've been like hyping up Arch Manning for the past 4 years, and it was all of a sudden it's going to be his time. And then here's Quinn Ewers on social media today saying, I'm not leaving. Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not going to say the full thing, but he was full on, I'm not leaving. This is absolutely insane. We got a caller into the studio here. Caller, thanks for calling into the Scoreboard. What do you got for me today?
Hey, Joe. I was the one that talked to you yesterday about them Tar Heels.
I told you they would get that win, didn't I? I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. Number 1 in the ACC, the only team left in the conference that hasn't had a loss in conference play.
Yep.
Looking pretty strong right now. 3 straight road games, road victories in the ACC, the only team in the conference to start out with 3 road games on the schedule and took care of all 3 of them so far. So
not only that, but the schedule for North Carolina right now, I don't want to say that it becomes easy, but it does lighten up just a little bit for them as they come back home. They got Syracuse, Louisville, Boston College, Wake Forest. I mean, these are teams that are right now not ranked, and I personally don't think they're teams that are going to be very competitive. So for North Carolina Tar Heels, they really got a good-looking team right now, and things are, in my opinion, are just going to start getting better.
Yeah, no, they should definitely win their next, the next 4 games, maybe struggle a little bit at Florida State. That's always a tough place for them to play, and since they beat them the first game, they'll probably be hungry to have a little revenge maybe. But, yeah, they're looking strong, but still a long way to go. But I thought I'd at least call and brag a little bit on the Tar Heels, how they're starting out.
I was wondering if I was going to hear from you today, especially as I started this this college basketball segment. I definitely was like, I wonder if we're going to hear back about the Carolina Tar Heels, but they're looking good this year. I'm not ready to announce them as my pick for the NCAA tournament this year, but they are in the running, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think if they can all stay healthy and these last 3 games they've been doing it on defense. They've been struggling on the offensive end, but they actually playing some D, maybe a little similar to Dean Smith days with the defense. They can get out there, play some lockdown defense, and win games that way. Sometimes you got to be able to win them ugly, especially when it gets tournament time. You can't always ball doesn't always go in the basket, so you got to come up with other ways to win the game, and they've been able to do that on the road. So I'm impressed so far, so hopefully they can keep it going.
Yeah, and you talk about the importance of playing good defense in the tournament, and the other thing that's important in the tournament is your free throw shooting. And boy, those Tar Heels, they have some killers at the line, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, yeah. Cormac and RJ both are over 90% at the line, so you don't want to foul those guys.
Yeah, RJ at 95% from the line. That's rare.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's special at the line, and it not just that, but just the shots that he's been making. I mean, just the lead scorer in the league, and then you got the leading rebounder in the league with Baycott. I mean, they got the team right now.
They do. They do.
A lot of other guys filling in, and the Ingram guy from Stanford, 19 rebounds last night. I mean, that guy is off the charts. He just gets out there and gets it all done. You know, even if he's not making shots, he's doing all the other things, making it happen.
Absolutely, and I'm telling you, they're going to be a very fun team to watch come end of regular season into tournament time. But thanks for the call. You got anything else for me before I let you go?
Nah, I'll just say, go Tar Heels.
Go Tar Heels, absolutely. And you're always welcome to call in to the Scoreboard. And if anybody else, maybe you want to brag a little bit, you know, we accept bragging here on this show. 844 Studio 4 is the phone number. That's 844-788-3464. And as we move through the college basketball season, we'll continue to give you updates. As we get a little bit later, we're definitely going to be hitting college basketball hard. And man, tournament time, the NCAA tournament, one of the best times of the sports year, in my opinion. The first 2 days of that tournament, there is just absolutely nothing like it. But moving right along here, as I was just mentioning, Quinn Ewers, the quarterback for the University of Texas, deciding to come back and play another year with his college. And you're going to see more of this, okay? This doesn't have anything to do with Arch Manning. It doesn't have anything to do with the fact that Texas was in the college football playoffs this year and they had a chance. It doesn't have anything to do with that. He's getting paid. He is getting money. That is one of the determining factors here. And I guarantee it. You know, the kids are definitely going to say, no, we don't care. We don't know. We just want to play. No, it's about the money. It's definitely about the money, because anybody else would have said, I'm going to the NFL. You know why? Because they would have been getting paid. And back then it would have been, they're going to go get paid legally now. Now they can stay and legally get paid. Don't even think for a second that your top college football players pre-NIL were not getting paid. I mean, look at Reggie Bush and the situation that they've put him through. I mean, come on, really. That's what this has. That's what NIL is doing. It's allowing these kids to come back to school, get a little more seasoned, maybe get a degree. Just throwing that out there. You're going to college. Might as well get a degree while you're there, right? I mean, you're going to see a lot more of this. And I'm not going to be surprised either way with the rest of the announcements that are made. We had Marvin Harrison Jr. announce that he is going into the NFL draft. I'm not surprised. He definitely could have gone back. He would have been getting a lot of money to go back. But Marvin Harrison Jr., one of those players that I think is going to be at the top of a lot of people's draft boards. He could be a top 5 pick. I know the analytics say don't pick a wide receiver in the top 10. But sometimes you got to say, toss the analytics in the trash. This guy is a baller. And I really, I would not be surprised. I'm not calling this. I'm not saying it's what's going to happen. But I would not be surprised if you see the Bears trade back a couple of spots. That way the quarterbacks can go, and then their first pick be Marvin Harrison Jr. That would be one incredible 1-2 punch with DJ Moore and Marvin Harrison Jr. And then you got Justin Fields. Is he still their quarterback? It seems like he's still going to be the guy there. But and if he is going to be the guy there, this is the route that I would take. Get a top guy. Get somebody who you can say, you know what? I'm under pressure. We got to get a first down. I'm just going to throw it up to my guy. It's going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. Mark my words on that one. Halfway through the Scoreboard here today. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. And if you'd like to be part of the show, you absolutely can. 844-STUDIO-4. That's 844-788-3464. On the other side of the break, we'll have some NFL talk for you, and we'll get through the rest of the show. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this.
There's more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on the way on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, clear sky hangs on as we go through the rest of our Thursday evening. Getting cold tonight. Temperatures dropping down to around freezing overnight. As we go into our Friday, we'll start with sunshine, clouds thickening up throughout the day, though. And as we go into our Friday evening, the commute from work could be a bit messy with rain moving in the afternoon. Some of it heavy, maybe even a rumble of thunder as we get into the evening hours. Rain moves out, though, just before midnight, clearing the sky out for a sunny weekend and a cool weekend in the 40s. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
You've been working hard, doing the right thing and paying your taxes and putting your hard-earned money in the Medicare piggy bank all your life. And now it's time to break the piggy bank and get something back. Medicare. If you didn't know it, Medicare is health insurance for people over 65, and you paid for it with your tax dollars. Medicare plans now have more benefits than ever. That's good news, especially if you're like me and looking forward to paying as little as possible for good health insurance. Call and find out what Medicare plan is best for you. Save your time. It's valuable. We've already done the research for you. And in one quick phone call, you can learn how to get the best Medicare plan designed exactly for you. Hey, it's one of the most important decisions in your life. Let us help you through it. Here's our number. Call 65 Plus Medicare now at 800-430-6748. 800-430-6748. 800-430-6748. That's 800-430-6748. Hey, listen, are you a 50-year-old person looking for term life insurance? Then you need to talk to Bob. Bob specializes in helping people find $1 million or more of term life insurance for a couple of $100 a month. Look, you need to know there's a price war in the term life insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call Bob, and he'll shop and see how much money he can save you. Look, this could be the last term life insurance policy you ever have. Your rates are guaranteed for the next 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rates for the next 20 years. And if you're a smoker or your health is not perfect, Bob has great rates for you too. So for $1 million of term life insurance coverage for a couple of $100 a month, call Bob right now. 800-989-1754. 800-989-1754. 800-989-1754. That's 800-989-1754. Paid for by Term Direct.
Conversations that matter.
I gotta tell you, I'm afraid to even think about the next presidential election.
Led by you.
It's a mockery of American politics.
This is WSIC News Talk Now.
The 2023 season is in the books for the Panthers, and now it's time to look ahead and start preparing for the future. I'm Sharon Thorson with the Panthers update after this.
Great play. Let's roll back the replay. Panthers mascot Sir Purr is on the Bank of America app.
He can't keep his paws off that phone.
Bank of America's digital tools are so impressive, Carolina Panthers fans just can't stop banking. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/can'tstopbanking.
You must download the latest version of the mobile banking app, only available on select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. Terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC.
The 2023 season came to an end on Sunday with a loss to the Bucks. The Panthers cleaned out their lockers on Monday and headed out for an offseason that is sure to include lots of change. Tight end Hayden Hurst understands what's coming.
I think everybody kind of understands, what's going to happen this offseason. This place is probably going to get turned upside down. But as players, all we can do is just go back home, to our respective places and just get healthy. And because all this place needs, it's a mindset. You got to come in here and work hard. We just got to come in here and be competitive next year.
Being competitive is certainly what everyone wants to do. Maybe no one more than quarterback Bryce Young. The rookie went through plenty of adversity this season, but says he appreciates the experience and plans to get better because of it. And now that his first NFL season is over, he's looking forward to a fresh start.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how we all look at it. It's a reset. We're all going to start. We're going to start 0-0 next year. So I think you get optimism of it being a fresh start, and next year being a new year. But also, we know you're not just entitled to that because it's a later date. We have to put the work in. We have to take ownership. We have to be better. we're all excited for what the future holds, and we have to do everything we can to take advantage of that.
I'm Sharon Thorson on the Panthers Radio Network, presented by Morris Jenkins.
Talk sports with Joe Berg. Call 844-STUDIO-4. It's the Scoreboard on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
All right, everyone, we are back. It is segment number 3 right here on the Scoreboard. 844-STUDIO-4. That's 844-788-3464. If you have a question, comment, concern, you want to brag about your team, whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter. We take all calls here on the Scoreboard. 844 Studio 4, that's 844-788-3464. All right, it's been a busy Thursday already. Quite a few news stories out there, including the one that broke earlier today out of the NFL, that being head coach of the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick, no longer the head coach of that team. Belichick and Kraft have pretty much decided mutually that it's time to move on, and it feels anticlimactic. It feels like this isn't how this should have happened. A terrible season for Belichick. A year in which he just kind of started throwing quarterbacks out there and saying, all right, this week we got Mac Jones. Sure. I always pictured Belichick going out closer to the top. I did. It's just the way it felt like it should be. And I'm not saying that he should have won a Super Bowl and then left, but Nick Saban made the playoffs at least. Nick Saban brought a team that honestly had no business being in the playoffs to the playoffs. And I'm just spitballing here, but now that I'm talking about Saban, did the college football playoff expansion have anything to do with his decision to stop coaching? Just going to let that one linger there. I'm not saying it did because I don't know. I'm just asking the questions that I haven't heard this question asked. You know, somebody go up to Saban and say, are you leaving because they're expanding the college football playoffs? I'd love to know what his answer is. And then you look at Belichick and you say, are you leaving because you want to? Or is this a Pete Carroll in Seattle situation, which I think it's closer to what's happening with Pete Carroll in Seattle. Now, I don't think Belichick is going to go to an upper management role because we've seen over the past 10 years, GM Bill Belichick is not Coach Bill Belichick. They are two completely different people. One of them is the greatest of all time at what they do, and the other one is not very good at all. And I'm sure you know what I mean by that. GM Bill Belichick, not great. I mean, all you have to do is look at the Patriots draft picks over the past few years. And it hasn't been good. Last year, Cole Strange at pick number 29, offensive lineman. Year before that, Mac Jones. The year before that, they didn't have a first-round pick. 2019, it was N'Keal Harry, who, do you even know anything about N'Keal Harry anymore? Only 64 receptions in his career. And as of right now, he's on a team, but he hasn't done much. He's with Minnesota. I didn't know he was with Minnesota because he hasn't done anything. In 2018, it was Isaiah Wynn, the tackle, and man, it wasn't any better with Isaiah Wynn. He is in Miami now. So the draft history for Belichick is not great. You know, they do hit every now and then. And obviously, they hit better than any other team has ever hit in the late rounds back in, oh man, I don't even remember what year it is, with Tom Brady being drafted to their team. And that was huge for them. But earlier, if you were listening to the show before me, we had Patrick Reynolds on doing the news drive at 5. And we were talking a little bit about the Patriots and, you know, what they were doing. And I said to him, I said, look, I think he's going to keep coaching. I just think he needs a GM because his draft picks haven't been good. And he asked me, was it Belichick or was it Brady? And I said, I can't say that it was Belichick just yet because Brady left and won. I want to see Belichick go somewhere else and win, which I think he's completely capable of doing. But we'll see what happens in terms of that. Hey, actually, I haven't mentioned this yet, but do you like tickets to things? Do you like free things? I know there's a lot of people that do like free things. So in the next segment of the show, segment number 3, if you want to win tickets to the Greater Charlotte Home and Landscape Show and the the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, the Charlotte Home and Landscape Show is January 26th to 28th, and the Home and Remodeling Show is from February 23rd to 25th. If you'd like to get tickets to those, I'm going to hook you up right here on the scoreboard. Do not call yet for those tickets. If you do want to call, you can call me up, but you better have a sports question or a comment. In the next segment of the show, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say a magic word. And I'll tell you what that magic word is, but I need you to listen before I tell you the magic word. All right? We're going to do this like it's kindergarten. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. We're going to go to commercial in 3 minutes. When we come back, I'm going to announce that we're doing the giveaway. You can win 2 tickets and 2 tickets. It's 4 in total, 2 to each show. And then I'm going to say a magic word. Once you hear that magic word, you can call in 844-788-3464 or 844-STUDIO-4. And if you're the first person to tell me what the magic word is, you win the tickets. The magic word is cantaloupe. Cantaloupe. That is the magic word. Don't forget it. Write it down because I don't want it. I swear, if you call this phone number right now and tell me what the magic word is before segment number 4, I'm never taking another phone call again. I'm putting my foot down. Cantaloupe. Don't forget. All right, let's move on to some more sports because tomorrow is Friday and, well, unfortunately, we don't have high school football. But after tomorrow, we have NFL playoffs. Super wild card weekend. And I know it feels like this is just taking forever to get here. Like, come on, let's get to the playoffs already. Saturday, the playoffs begin. We have the Cleveland Browns with 11 wins and 6 losses on the road in Houston, who has 10 wins and 7 losses. I don't like it. Why is the team with more wins on the road? Make it make sense, please. I know divisions and wild cards. Yeah, but their record's better. Let them host the playoff game. Why are we even debating this? I mean, I'm the only one debating it. Nobody else cares. And then the 8 o'clock game on Saturday. Reminder, it is only streaming on Peacock. That means you have to pay for a streaming service if you want to watch the Dolphins head to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. And I'll tell you what, the weather in Kansas City this weekend, it's going to be interesting. Keep an eye on it because as of right now, I think we're going to be getting into possibility of snow, possibility of freezing temperatures, a lot of wind. Right now, Sunday's high temperature, 1 degree in Kansas City. So that's going to be a fun one to watch. 844-STUDIO-4 is the phone number. Cantaloupe is the magic number. We're going to break. Don't forget the magic number, the magic word. Don't forget it. We're going to break. When we come back, we're giving away tickets. Love you all. Goodbye. We'll be back.
More of Sports Director Joe Berg's The Scoreboard is coming up on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, clear sky hangs on as we go through the rest of our Thursday evening. Getting cold tonight, temperatures dropping down to around freezing overnight. As we go into our Friday, we'll start with sunshine, clouds sticking up throughout the day, though. And as we go into our Friday evening, the commute from work could be a bit messy with rain moving in the afternoon. Some of it heavy, maybe even a rumble of thunder as we get into the evening hours. Rain moves out, though, just before midnight, clearing the sky out for a sunny weekend and a cool weekend in the 40s. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Rocky Lynn is playing at Kane Center for the Arts Saturday, January 20th. Having performed all over the world, written hit songs, and mentored artists, Rocky Lynn is making another stop here at home. Rocky Lynn, Saturday, January 20th.
Hey, digital listeners, you're getting a hint. You're getting a hint. If you want those tickets, I'm going to tell you right now what the magic word is. I'm just going to remind you. A reminder, the tickets are for the Charlotte Home and Landscape Show, January 26th to 28th, and the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, February 23rd to 25th. The magic word today is cantaloupe. We're about to be back, so if you want those tickets, just call in and give me the magic word. That's all I need. No question today, no sports trivia. Very simple. Know the magic word, call in, and the tickets are yours. I'm waiting for you. We're about to be back here in a minute. In 1 minute and 30 seconds, we're going to be back on the air. I better see that phone line lighting up. And if you don't say the correct magic word, I'm hanging up on you. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to hang up on you. All right.
Charles Mack Citizen Center, Friday, January 19th. Love country music? The Hitmen of Country have toured and recorded with some of the country's greatest artists, like Keith Urban, Trace Adkins, Travis Tritt, and Jason Aldean. For more information, go to visitmooresville.com. That's visitmooresville.com. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Rev up your dreams with a bike from Tilly Harley-Davidson. Whether you're new to Harley or a seasoned pro, Tilly has the bike for you. Come experience the freedom of the ride. Feel the thrill of the road and the thunder that only a Harley can provide. Stop by Tilly Harley-Davidson of Statesville or go to tillyhd.com.
Talk sports with Joe Berg. Call 844-STUDIO-4. It's The Scoreboard on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
My eyes are firmly planted on this call line right here. 844-788-3464. I am staring intently at the phone. If you know the magic word, call me up, tell me the magic word, and these tickets are yours. I want to give away tickets. I feel like I feel like a nice person when I give away tickets. I make someone's day because you're probably going to have to go pay for those tickets. But I'm going to give them to you for free. You just have to remember the magic word, and I'm not saying it anymore. Listen, if you were on our social feed here, whether you were watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, WSICnews.com, you got a during commercial hint, I guess is what I'll call it. I said the word again. I gave the word multiple times. The word of the day, well, you know, Good Morning LKN has the word of the day. I just have a word that's like a if you say this word, you win the tickets. I don't really know how to see how to make this any more obvious. It's a fruit? I think it's a fruit. Honestly, I don't even think I've had one ever. Funny to me that I came up with this word without having ever eaten one. There's your hint again. So if you want your tickets to the Charlotte Home and Landscape Show, as well as 2 tickets to the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show. Call me up with the keyword, is what we're going to call it, the keyword, 844-STUDIO-4. That's 844-788-3464. And listen, if you're trying to call in right now and it's not working, it happens. Sometimes our phone lines are a little weird. I can admit that. You can always try our old phone number, the one that most of the area should be familiar with. That's 704-873-1400. But I want to give these tickets away. So if you know what the magic word is, what the password is, what the word of the day is, what the keyword is, and you want tickets, call me up at 704-873-1400 or 844-STUDIO-4. We were talking about the weather in Kansas City on the other side of the break as we have a game on Saturday night. As we also look into Sunday's games, we have a home game for the Buffalo Bills. I know, it's a little weird to think about that. You know, we had such a weird season with the Bills. They were good, and then they were bad, and then they went on this incredible run into the playoffs. They beat the Dolphins in the final week of the season. They get to host a playoff game, and they're going to have to play in the snow again. 60% chance of snow in Buffalo on Sunday. I don't know how to feel about that. If you're a Buffalo Bills fan, you might have a little bit of flashbacks to last year and the snow game that was in Buffalo last year with the Cincinnati Bengals coming to town. And honestly, it looked like they were playing in Cincinnati. It looked like Cincinnati was the team who was used to the snow, as the Bills just absolutely looked terrible in that game. So I wouldn't be too excited about a snow game if I was a Buffalo fan. But we'll see. I would love another snow playoff game. Snow football is the best. Nothing beats it, honestly. But as we look through the rest of the playoffs, you also have the Packers heading to Dallas to take on the Cowboys, the Rams going to Detroit to take on the Lions, and your Monday night, this is what makes it super wild card weekend, is the fact that there's a Monday night game, which, like, okay. The Eagles are on the road. The Philadelphia Eagles are on the road going to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 9-8. 9-8. Philadelphia won 11 games, and they're on the road. There's got to be something we can do with that. Maybe, okay. Here's an idea. You can allow these teams to make the playoffs who are not good, right? There was a chance that we were going to have like 2 sub-500 teams make the playoffs in the NFC. That was a possibility. Maybe if you make the playoffs, if you win your division with a losing record and you're supposed to host a playoff game, you're not allowed to host that playoff game. You had a losing record. You should lose the right to hosting that playoff game. I don't want to make it more drastic than what it already sounds, because then I'd be saying, you know what, because the Eagles had a better record than the Buccaneers, let the Eagles host the playoff game. And I don't feel like saying that about the Eagles. But there's got to be something we can do about this. All right. Moving right along as we always do. We only got a few minutes left, and I'm still trying to give away these tickets. Call in with the magic word. If I don't get a call with 2 minutes left in the show, I'm giving you the magic word again. I've already said it about 15 times. Somebody has to know it, and somebody has to want these tickets. Otherwise, I don't know, maybe I won't come back tomorrow. I'm going to start making threats. That's what I'm going to do. Call the show and get your tickets, or I quit. Walking out. I'm just kidding. We're having fun here today on the scoreboard. Hey, we have some hockey tonight. The Carolina Hurricanes are back in action. Finally. I know, it's been forever. Last time they played was on Saturday when they lost in overtime to St. Louis. Tonight, the Carolina Hurricanes take on the Anaheim Ducks. That game is going to be right here. Well, not right here, but a couple of hours away in Raleigh at PNC. But the Anaheim Ducks are in town. And I talked about this a little bit yesterday. The Hurricanes are at an interesting point in the season right now because they've been so good at home this year. Their record at home is 10-3-4. 10 wins, 3 losses, 4 overtime losses. On the road, they're 12-10-1. They've played a lot more road games than home games, that's for sure, but their record in those games so drastically different. And it could be a good thing for Carolina because coming up, they have 5 consecutive home games against Anaheim, Pittsburgh, LA, Detroit, and Minnesota before they go on the road on January 24th. 13 days from now is the next time that Carolina is on the road. The day after that, they come back home. Then they play the Devils, the Coyotes, the Canucks, the Avalanche, and the Devils. It's a big homestand right here for Carolina. They got 5 home games, they go on the road, and then they got 5 more home games. If there was ever a time in the season for Carolina Hurricanes to take full advantage of the situation in front of them, this is it right here. These 10 home games in 11 games could drastically impact their season. If they go on an absolute tear, there's no reason for me to believe that they can't be right there battling the Rangers for the Metro. They have a good team. Peter Kochetkov is probably going to be the goaltender that is the number 1 guy during this run, as Ranta will more than likely be the backup. I still don't think that needs to be the situation come playoff time. I'd love to see Kochetkov as the backup and the Hurricanes go get somebody in at the trade deadline through a trade. But we still got a long way to go before we get there. But these next 11 games for the Hurricanes are huge. And it starts tonight at 7 o'clock as the Hurricanes take on the Anaheim Ducks. We have a caller into the studio. Oh my goodness. I think somebody knows them. I hope somebody knows the magic word. Thank you, caller, for calling into the studio. What do you have for me today?
Well, hey, Joe, it's Hope. I haven't called in a while. Hang on.
Hey, Hope, yeah, I was going to say, you got to shut that radio.
I know. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
The clue. I missed the clue question. I just know there's supposed to be a magic word, so I don't know what the puzzle is. But, I want to win the tickets, but then I want you to pick someone to donate them to for me.
Really? You don't want the tickets?
Yeah. Well, I've already won a set, and I don't want to be greedy, but I want you to know I'm listening to your show, okay? So, something like, maybe like a kid's sports team or something like that to keep them interested in being active other than just sports when there's not sports going on, if that ever happens anymore. I don't know. But,
it's not a bad idea.
What the question was. What's the question?
So it wasn't a question. I know I usually do a question of the day. I did just a general keyword, and it's a fruit that I have never eaten before. I can't believe that I made this the clue and I've never eaten it.
And I'm supposed to know that about you.
Oh, well, if you were listening to the show, Hope.
I missed that part because I was doing my cat work. I had to bring the cats in because it's so cold.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Hope. No, it's not a problem. I'm going to give you the word, and I'm going to allow you to be the quote-unquote ticket winner, and then I'm going to decide to give them away to someone. The word of the day was cantaloupe. I've never had
cantaloupe. You're kidding.
I've never had cantaloupe.
Oh my gosh, it's the best. Throw some salt on there, a little sea salt. It's amazing.
Okay, I might have to give it a try.
Yeah, eat a whole half for breakfast tomorrow for me.
I will do that.
The ripeness comes from the thump, okay? You got to thump it a little bit. And the more bassy, the more tasty.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to give those tickets away on your behalf, Hope. We are coming to the end of the show, so I am going to have to let you go right now. But thank you for calling in, Hope. You were such a blessing to have on the studio and call into these shows. We love having you around. I will be giving Hope's tickets away to somebody in her honor. Well, not in her honor, but based on what she would like for me to do. Thank you all for tuning into the Scoreboard today. We got 5 seconds. I gotta go. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone.
The new